testosterone, we have a problem.
This is Outside the Manosphere, where two guys with zero credentials dive past the cliches of masculinity and try and become better friends by actually talking to each other. It's weirdly hard, but we're doing it anyway. Join us.
Welcome to Outside the Manosphere. My name is Carlos.
I'm Skip. How's Black History Month treating you, Carlos? Are you wondering when White History Month is?
I think it's White History Year for the rest of the time, right? Yeah, man. I have a couple things to say about Black History Month, or really about Black excellence. But I guess we'll get into that in a bit. What's the news with you?
My week's been good. It's been eventful. I had yesterday was 20 years in the Czech Republic for me. 20 years since I moved here.
Congratulations.
So that was, a momentous occasion, if only in spirit. We had like a little get together over the weekend. That was nice. But yeah.
How'd that go? I wanted to ask you about it.
It was real chill. There were a lot of people that were sick or out of town because, you're not planning on things. But I had like a little core crew, and it was really nice to just have a relaxed evening where we chat and we ate a bunch of like appetizers and hung out. And I still got a Czech flag on my wall. So
nice.
That might be a longer term addition somewhere in the house.
Is it like a full size flag?
Yeah, I mean it's a low quality one that I got at like Flying Tiger. It's like the the Danish dollar store that's in malls here. But it's like a full size flag.
Well, cool. Well, we're going to get into Black History Month shortly, but for now, I would like to know what your quick news item is, Skip.
So my quick news item, I don't know if you've been following the Olympics. I love the Olympics.
A little bit.
Yeah. I'm not really big into sports, but the Olympics I can get behind because it's just like, it's a display of people doing things better than anyone in the world can do them. And also I have very strong opinions on countries. So whereas with a sports team, it's just, if I were to try and get into, say, football, I'd just be like, well, I don't live in a city with a football team, so I just care about this team now. And it just feels really false. Whereas I can legit root for the US or the Czech teams and feel like a sense of national pride and things like that. But there was a piece of news this week that I think is both weird and funny and strange and relevant to things that we talk about, which was there was a bronze medalist Norwegian who was interviewed and immediately decided to talk about how he had cheated on his girlfriend a while back and she left him and it was the biggest mistake of his life and it was the most miserable week even though he got a bronze medal, and he was just like putting it out there because he felt like it was the only thing that he could do to try and win her back. And the thing that I thought of is like that weaponized vulnerability to a degree.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
like he did something wrong and like legit, he's you can read it as like legit vulnerability. Like I really want to like win this woman back. I'm ready to like put it all out on the line and say like I'm a terrible person and I made a terrible mistake. Or like another way to say it is like, yeah, he did something terrible. And now he's putting all this public pressure that she probably didn't even want this out in the public.
Right.
To her. And so it's really kind of an interesting little thing because of how, and just very weird. And it's not the only weird thing in the Olympics coming out of Norway. I don't know if you know about Crotch-gate, but that is a wild new thing too. So I want to hear your reaction to this news. And I don't know if you've heard it before, but then we can move on to Crotch-gate if you want.
No, I hadn't heard it. And I guess I'm looking at it the exact same way you are, in that he's applied all this pressure to this woman. And it's like over the top. He's saying, look at this grand romantic gesture that I've won a medal, an Olympic medal for you so that you'll come back and you'll love me again. It's, I mean, it's either extraordinarily manipulative or it's just, I don't know, he shouldn't have said anything. It's maybe a private message to her, like, hey, I won this for you, sort of thing. And like,
well, I don't even think he said he won it for her. I think he was just saying, like, this is my opportunity to, like, put it all out there. And I don't know.
Well, I guess I interpreted it as, he did it for her. But classic dude move.
Yeah.
What's his Crotch-gate thing?
Oh, Crotch-gate is amazing. So I don't have, like, there's still kind of facts coming out about this, but basically the Norwegians, for their ski jump, because you want to catch air and go, they had managed to get baggier crotches to catch wind like a flying squirrel.
Okay.
And so, like, the fact that this is a thing is just hilarious, and that they're, cheating by becoming flying squirrels by having baggy crotches. But some of the rumors, and I don't know if they're true or not, because there hasn't been, is that they were doing this because you get, like, measured, and that determines how you get your suit and how it fits and stuff like that, is that they were injecting things into their penises to swell them so that when they got measured, it was an actual fit. But then the swelling would subside and they'd have these baggy crotches.
I mean, couldn't you just stuff a sock? Couldn't you just stuff a sock down there? You're not getting measured nude. You know what I mean?
I don't know. You might be in your undies though, because, like, I mean, when I was in wrestling, even in high school, which isn't, like, super competitive, you weigh in your underwear and stuff like that. So it's
right.
If you stuff a sock down there, it'd be pretty obvious. I feel like, but I don't know. Maybe
okay.
Not.
I don't
Especially
know.
if somebody's measuring you.
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard of either one, but the Olympics, man. I follow medal counts. Like, I don't watch any of them really, but I do follow medal counts, and in the past I've always kind of rooted for the USA because that's where I've been, and the Czech Republic. When I was living there, I was rooting for the Czech Republic, and now that I'm in Canada, I'm like, I really want Canadians to, like, excel, especially at the expense of the US, just because of all the politics happening right now. But
yeah,
and I don't mean to sound crabby about it, but, like, I would like Canada to, do really well, even though they're doing okay. I think they've won a silver and a bronze at this point.
Yeah, and I'm actually watching a lot of the Olympics on Canadian television on the internet because Canada's one of the countries where a lot of it's available online free. So I put on the old VPN and typed in all the stuff, and I'm getting to watch Canadian broadcasters tell me all about the Olympics.
I find that the broadcasters are less Canadian sounding. They're more of a kind of a neutral. It's just like in the American ones. You don't hear a lot of country in a news anchor or whatever. My news item is not remotely as interesting as yours, or it's going to be a ton briefer. But I saw just yesterday or this morning. So you're familiar, and I apologize in advance for everyone that this is a Spider-Man reference, but whatever. It's my brief news item, and I'm sticking to it.
Hey, we love comics here.
One of my favorite, yes, it is. It's an unfortunate thing, but it is. So one of my favorite movies, not just like animated movies, one of my favorite movies of all time is the Spider-Man franchise of Across the Universe and into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse. It doesn't follow the classic Spider-Man. It follows a black Puerto Rican Spider-Man. His name's Miles Morales, and he's dark-skinned and he's got a different costume. He's a different guy. He's not Peter Parker. Peter Parker's in the movie, but anyway, it's excellent movie. I highly recommend anybody who hasn't seen it to watch at least the first one. It's amazing. But
the second one,
go ahead. No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say the second one I think is even better, and, like, the animation in those are just, like, amazing. And the second one,
the soundtrack, the animation, it's just so good. Yeah. The second one, I think it's at least equal to the first. I wouldn't say it's better, but one thing I like about the second one is they have Spider-Man 2099, which I was a big fan of when I was a kid. I even have, like, the first edition comic on my shelf here that's slowly gathering value. But anyway, so it's a movie about interdimensional spider people. Like, they just kind of all congress. And one of the characters, he's Spider, or what is his name? Spider-Man Noir.
Spider-Man Noir.
He's like a hard-boiled, like, black and white detective Spider-Man. He wears like a fedora and a trench coat, and he's in black and white, as you know. and he's voiced by Nicholas Cage in the first movie. So I had heard that there was going to be a series of just his character, and I thought it was going to be animated until I saw just like yesterday or day before that it's going, or this morning, I don't know when it was, it's stills of the actual show, and it's a live action Spider-Man Noir series is going to be on Prime. So I'm super excited about it. I also heard that it's going to be either in black and white or in color. The stills that I saw were in color. But
it's going to be available in both. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah. It's really like I'm really looking forward to it. So that's my news item. That's coming out. It's live action. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, it's a totally different Spider-Man. He's Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man, if you can imagine that, and he's fighting Nazis in it, which is very apt.
Yeah, and he's a hard-boiled detective from the old film noir kind of tradition. And he said I just saw a random quote from him. He said his performance, and his performances are all over the place. They're like, some of them are great, some of them are absolutely horrific. But he said his performance is 70% Humphrey Bogart and 30% Bugs Bunny, which sounds amazing.
Yeah, I saw that, which is what he is in the cartoon also, or the animated movie too. So yeah, that is it for news items this week.
All right,
and that was our transition.
Carlos.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to fall in love?
I am so ready to fall in love, Skip.
All right. Well, this is question 34 from 36 questions to fall in love. And that was a New York Times article about 10 years ago. Question 34 is, your house, containing everything you own, catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash to save any single item, any one item. What would it be and why?
So I saw this question, you'd put it in our notes, and so I had a chance to think about it, and I didn't really think too long and hard about it, but I don't know, there's so many things that I would want to rescue, but the first thing that I thought of is actually a pair of things, and I'm going to include it. I think it counts. I have two, maybe they're quite large, but they're two photo portraits of my great-great-grandparents on my maternal side. I never met them, obviously. They died way before I was born. But I knew my great-grandparents, their children. And it's my great-grandfather's parent and it's my great-grandmother's parents. And they were these two photos were always in these ornate wooden frames. They're matching frames. And they had them in their home. My mother told me, oh yeah, they always had them in their home. When I was a child, they were there in their homes. And last time I went to Austin, they were boxed up. They were in my mom's house boxed up. And so I brought them here, and they're hanging in our hallway. And I think that would be it, just for posterity. I'd snag them, and I would, at some point, they're going to belong to my niece because she's the only child in our family. So they're going to be hers one day. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's probably it. I mean, there's a ton of things, mostly nostalgic, like photos or whatever, but like a computer can be replaced. All the material stuff can be replaced, but this is also material, but it's familial and it's history. And once those are gone, they're gone. In fact, I should make copies of them as I talk about it. I should make copies of them. But yeah, that would be it. What about you?
No, that's a good answer. Realistically, like if my house were on fire and I had like 1 second to think, I also saw this question. I was like, I don't know that I would go back into a burning house to save anything. Like, there's just not. I mean, like, I know that like it's in the premise of the question that I'd be safe and I'd be able to get it, but like, I don't know if there's anything. Like, my first reaction was, I don't know if there's anything physical that I care about that much.
Okay.
Like, because like of what you said, most everything can be replaced. And most of after several international moves, most of our photos and stuff exist online,
right.
But listening to you, I did realize we actually have a folder, and this sounds very silly, but we have a folder called sentimental items. And it's like birthday cards and some photos and things like that. So that would probably be the thing that I would, if I had time to think about it, that I would land on. Mm-hmm. Realistically, in the moment, I'd probably go like run in to grab my computer and then grab my wife's computer because her computer is more important for our livelihood.
But you know, it's funny when you were saying that, because I remember being in the Czech Republic, and I mean, I was there for about 6 years. So I was pretty dug in, but it was kind of the same thing. Like, I mean, you guys don't own your flat, do you? Rent it?
We rent it, yeah.
Yeah. So we were renting there too, and like, I don't know if it was the internationalness of it all or just being the expats. I know you've been there a lot longer than I had been, but
20
it's kind of the
years.
yeah. It was kind of the same thing, man. Like, I don't know that I had anything that was so like, I had a bunch of stuff in my mom's garage for years and years and years, or my sister's attic or whatever. So like the stuff that like I'd never wanted to lose was already secure somewhere. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
just not with me. But now that we own our place here, and you know, we're, I guess, spreading our roots into this little area. That's when I've kind of brought stuff back into my life that I hadn't seen for decades, and now it's so now I actually have an answer. Like, oh yeah, these two photos at the very least, like, I'm responsible for them. It's for my niece more than it is for me. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna be buried with them.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a good answer. I think most of those things are just gone from my life like that. After
Yeah.
moving so many times, like they just don't exist anywhere.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I've got a folder. I've got a folder with some old photos, and I'm not even sure it's the same folder as the sentimental photos. So I think, or sentimental stuff. So, but if given the choice between, gosh, old family photos that are only existing and like cards and drawings and stuff from my kids, I'm gonna choose the drawings and the cards.
Right. Well,
So
it's almost the same thing, because
yeah,
they're gonna be adults one day,
yeah,
and they're gonna want to look back. This It's their lives. It's the history of
yeah.
their lives, and like, who among us hasn't like looked at our stuff as kids? And I've got 4 pictures of myself as like a 4-year-old on our fridge, just to be funny, but like, I have them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have many of those. I have like a couple pictures of me as a kid online, and maybe one or two actual photos, but not much. Not much.
Well, that's that. We're that much closer, Skip, to falling in
We
love.
are. Yeah, we're like 94% in love, Carlos.
We're almost there. I guess I wanted to acknowledge, I mean, we're going to be talking a little bit about Black History Month today, and for the rest of the month. And I guess I kind of wanted to, when I was editing the last episode, I noticed that we hadn't really focused on Black History Month, and that we were instead kind of talking about racism and grievances, and like, which is relevant and it's important, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like it was almost the wrong tack, because I feel like we should be celebrating Black history and
Sure.
blackness, rather than just kind of airing out a grievance of racism, which is relevant to the story of Black Americans. But I don't know. I feel like it was a negative thing to kind of focus on. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I hear where you're coming from, and I do think that it was definitely more about kind of the entrenched systems of racism against Black people in the country. But that's also part of the nature of those kind of invisible knapsack questions
Yeah,
that we're going through. So I think it's a good idea to like focus on Black excellence or Black excellence and look at that and try and balance it with those questions, because I do think part of what we were talking about was representation, right? So
Mhm.
part of what's really important for Black Americans is seeing that Black excellence. But part of what's important for the rest of us is to acknowledge that there are problems, because it's hard to acknowledge things if there's been a couple items in the news this week, for instance, or over the last couple weeks, about like the national governors meeting where there's one Black governor and he was disinvited from the meeting, or this national farmers meeting and they disinvited the head of the Black farmers like group because
Right.
he's Black, and they're saying like, this isn't DEI. He's a farmer. Like this
Right.
is so we have to do both. We have to acknowledge, like tremendous accomplishments by Black individuals, but also that there's a lot of adversity, and there's still a lot of adversity. And people now, even when Black people do accomplish great things, whether they are owning their own farm and leading a group of Black farmers, or becoming a governor, people are still disincluding them from legitimate accomplishments because of the color of their skin. So I think it's kind of a two-edged sword, because there are like Black people know they're accomplishing things, but there's a big group of white people that don't understand that black people can do things still.
Sure.
And we need to like kind of cut on both sides of that.
Well, on that note, let's jump into our invisible knapsack. Okay, so the question we have here is number 13. We jumped from 7 to 13. They're all good questions, but we're just kind of selecting a few. And this is Peggy McIntosh. She's a woman who I said before was writing first on feminism when she realized, like, well, there's a race element to this thing. So, so keep that in mind as I read this question. Number 13, I can speak in public to a powerful male group without putting my race on trial. What do you think of that?
That's clearly something that me, a dirty blonde.
I'd say a dirty red. You're a redhead.
No,
yes, you are. You're absolutely a redhead.
What? All right. Well, now I feel othered. No, yeah, I don't worry about that. Obviously, like I think, if I was to talk to a group of powerful men, and I don't know if it's implied that they're white, but
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I think it's implied.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even consider that that I'm representing just the white perspective, which is part of the problem, right? Is that like it's a very insular bubble.
Yeah,
and you're only getting that feedback, and you're not getting some of those outside perspectives.
Right.
I don't know. What about you?
Well, I mean, when as you're describing that, they're not going to have preconceived ideas of your intelligence, of your background, because you're one of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like now, if you show up in like a flannel shirt, you're short and you're brown, you got a mustache and like a straw hat, they're gonna be like, oh, this Mexican farmer, and they all the ideas behind whatever that could be. You know what I mean? The same thing with a black woman or a black man. I do think it's I mean, it's a different time. This was written in the 80s, but either way, like there's still like clearly the racism is still there. And I don't know what preconceived notions necessarily people would have nowadays. But
I think if anything, the racism is more blatant in a lot of places because it's just kind of come out of the shadows. And for a lot of people, they think it's okay now. Like, like we talked about before, DEI, which the fundamental concept of that is giving everyone a chance. It's actually a true meritocracy. White people have, not all white people, but white people that are against it have reframed it as giving a leg up to people that are minority groups, where in fact, it's giving not having DEI is basically giving a leg up to white people, because you're saying, well, we're not even going to try and get other people in here. We're making the pool smaller so you don't have to compete against other people. And like back before DEI, in order to succeed as a black person or a brown person, you had to really, truly like excel up. And same thing with feminism, like with women succeeding in different times, they had to go way above and beyond in order to get the same kind of treatment.
Right. I guess what I meant with I don't know what preconceived notions they might have nowadays is like when I look at or when I read about Donald Trump's blatant racism, putting Obama and the Obamas as like apes on YouTube or whatever, or Twitter.
Yeah.
No, his stupid social network. I think of him like he's an old racist. His racism is classic racism. That's why when I think of it as like what preconceived notions, I feel like a lot of that sort of racism is generational, and I don't see those guys on the hiring board or even like on the desk at a Walmart where they're interviewing you, which I could be I'm probably totally wrong, but like the old racism of like, there's an intellectual difference between black and white or brown and white or whatever, or there's a laziness, or there's all the old tropes. I feel like like the racism is different now for like our generation of white people versus like Donald Trump's generation of white people. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the racism now is like, okay, this black person sitting in front of me, like I have to be careful that they're not being advantaged. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the new racism versus like, oh, this guy's dumb or this guy is aggressive or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like I feel like the stereotypes are different now. You know what I mean? And I don't know what they are.
I'm gonna push back on that, and I think that you're right about the advantage thing, but I think the necessary precursor to that is the underlying racism that people are less than you. And I think largely in very much the same ways. So I think what they've done is they've just wallpapered over your classic racism with
Sure.
more
Yeah.
kind of classic racism
Right.
and saying the only way you could possibly compete with me is if we gave you an advantage. And it implies all the rest of it.
I know it's an implication, but that's what I'm saying. Like I like that. The only one that I can identify is that you're only here because of DEI. I get that.
Mhm.
But
Oh, yeah.
all the rest of them, like, is it front and center? Like, is somebody who's being interviewed being judged on the presumption that they're not as intelligent? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't have my finger on that pulse. Not that I ever had, like, I never thought that or anything, but like, I
Mhm.
just don't know what people are what white racists are thinking now. Like Donald Trump, yes, like that's clear
Yeah.
because that there's a framework for that and it's historical. But what's going on now, I don't really know. But I get what you're saying that it's there. It's just under the wallpaper. It makes sense to me.
I don't even think it's that far under the wallpaper. I think it's just
Yeah,
I think
just
it's just
one layer
saying
down.
it's not even a layer. I don't even know if it's a layer down. It's that it's just a new way of saying the old thing, which is like, if you're competing with me, the only way you're doing it is because you have all this extra help. Because so like they're just leaving out the clause, and I honestly don't think the racism is that different. I think that people are a little bit more deft about the way they talk about this stuff in
Sure.
public, but I don't believe that it's any different. I honestly don't believe that it's any different. I think that racism hasn't taken great steps forward. I don't think that there's a lot of like evolution in the racist perspectives. I think they're still kind of couched in the same things.
I don't know, man. I like watching the like the Bad Bunny performance.
Mhm.
I do think racism has progressed in like a positive way. I think there are fewer racists than there were before. I think right now they're just in the seat of power. And
Sure.
and make no mistake, they are racist in the seats of American power right now. And I do think there's still like millions and millions and millions of people who, whether they voted for this administration because of their racist views, or that was just like a byproduct of like the policies that they were agreeing with, or even the personality that they were agreeing with. But I do think, like watching the Super Bowl, I know this isn't like this is a Puerto Rican thing, not African American, but
Mhm.
like the way, like, so yeah, half the country is like, oh, Spanish, Spanish, Spanish. Not half the country, a chunk of these idiots are like complaining about it being in Spanish, where like the other part is like, that was an amazing show. And that was like, it was just so rich and so joyous. And I don't know, man, that was the fact that it was the biggest or the highest watched halftime show in the history of the Super Bowl, and roundly embraced. I
Yeah.
feel like that's a positive. That's a big positive. And yeah, there were the people complaining that it was in Spanish, and there was a lot of people complaining that it was in Spanish. But I think that's the minority, and I think
Sure.
and those guys are just, they're not going to change, and yeah, they're going to teach their kids to be as racist as they are. But
Yeah.
like, I do think it's a positive swing here.
Well, that's kind of what I was trying to say, is the people that are racist aren't moving forward. I wasn't trying to say that society as a whole doesn't have any movement at all. But I do think that like there's a large number of people that are racist, and I think they're pretty old school racist.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think that the form racism takes has moved forward. I think it's
Okay.
very, very old school. I don't think that they've become more nuanced in in their views. So like, yeah, I think yeah, we've moved forward in some cases. I think that there's still quite a lot, maybe more than we're comfortable even acknowledging. I think, like, if you look at they've done studies on people and their voting preferences, and the number one thing that predicts who you voted for in the last several elections with Trump is racism, underlying racism. Like, there's things that correlate well, like education level and a lot of things, but like people with underlying racist beliefs were highly likely to vote for Trump, and people that weren't were not likely to vote for Trump. And I think, you could, like, people, and I've known people that are like, oh, I think it's important for economics. It's a good cover, but it's that wallpaper for me. Like you're saying what you're ultimately saying when you say the economics is important to me is I don't care about all these people that are going to get fucked. And and that's another way of being racist. Like it's just a form of saying I genuinely do not care about these people. And one of two things is true. Either you're very racist about those people or you're just an incredibly selfish person. And either way, either way, you're not on my list of people I want to hang out with.
Right. Well, I guess so I think that there are more than two types. I don't think it's just racist or selfish because I think a lot of people aren't paying attention to politics. They're not watching every Trump rally and they're not reading the news. And they see, I think right now Trump is like way past, like I think now if you're voting for Trump, you're an asshole. But like at least in the beginning,
Sure.
I think in the beginning he was charming, he was funny. Like I remember, I think I've mentioned this before. I remember watching like a clip of him when he was running for president the first time, and I thought he was a douchebag then. And watching him, he got a chuckle out of me. I'm like, he's funny. Look, he's making fun of himself. And I can see how somebody who's not paying attention, but they get that little clip, they're like, all right, he's funny, and he was this celebrity, he's super rich, so he knows what he's doing. I can see how ignorance can be a driving factor in your vote, but not necessarily selfishness or racism. Like I said, I think at this point, if you're Team Trump and you're either really ignorant to politics at the very least, or you're selfish or racist, then I'll add that. I'll add that third. That's it.
Sure, fair enough. And I think, as the timeline progresses, the forgiveness factor lowers and lowers and lowers and lowers to, where, like initially there was a plausible case that I'd heard, like, he's trying to like mix things up. He's trying to like, this isn't real. People would say that a lot. You'd hear that from Trump voters. It's like, this isn't what he really thinks. He's just trying to shake things up and be an outsider. Right. But that's long gone. That's long gone. Yeah.
Now, one thing I will say, Skip, is, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, about the binary racist or selfish. The people that's 100% unquestionably true of are the Republican legislators. Those guys.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Those guys know better. You know what I'm saying? They know what they're doing. They're just choosing to be cowards. And that's pure self-preservation. Yeah, or racism. One of the two. Yeah, I think they're not ignorant to what's going on. Those guys are just racist or they're selfish. That's it for the race. For the
I mean, I think people that are in the seats of power as Republicans currently are just like sociopaths. I don't think they have the capability of empathizing or caring about any. I think it's pure self-interest. I think if the way that they could get power was to do something good for humanity, they'd switch overnight. They'd be like right on board. I think they're just terrible human beings.
Well, so I guess
where do we find the Black excellence here, or the excellence of many different varieties of people? But I guess it is Black History Month specifically.
Yes, and we did do a lot of exactly what I said that I was concerned we were doing, is talking mostly about racism. But I do have a little bit to say on Black excellence here. Yeah, have you seen the movie Sinners?
Yes.
Oh, I was hoping I could be the one to bring that light into your life. But we watched it last. So I saw that it was got all these nominations for Oscars, and I was like, "What is this?" And man, that was one of the best movies I've seen in a very, very long time. Solidly Black cast, and it was excellent. I mean, it was excellent. It was the same director as the first Black Panther, I believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So would you? It's a horror movie. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, I liked it as a horror movie. I liked it as a movie, too. There were few scenes that I felt, for me, elevated it past just a really good vampire movie. But one of the scenes was the musical scene. Yes. And if you haven't seen it, like that feels like the movie that got nominated.
Yes.
But a lot of it felt like a pretty standard vampire movie in a really novel setting, which was exciting and interesting. But and it's really good. I don't know if I feel like it's like the best picture of the year, but it's a very good movie. And like, there's a lot of things. There were some things that took me out of it, which was like sometimes they'd just linger on like video effects between the twins. And I was like, well, this scene's only here to like show off the video effects. Like if this was two actors, this would just be a boring scene.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
But I know I really enjoyed it. I thought the performances were great. I really, really enjoyed the musical scene because I just thought it was something completely different and interesting that you haven't seen in movies. And it was done so seamlessly. And I think a lot of it there was a lot that was done in one shot where there was a lot of choreography and stuff. And it was just a very cool scene. But a lot of it also was just real standard vampire stuff that was fun.
Yeah. As we were watching it, so once like they vamped out, like because the first half of the movie is not vampires,
right?
And then the second half is all vampires. It was almost like two movies, and two like the first movie was like more of a stylized, artistic, Academy Award winning movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you said, and then the second half was just an awesome vampire movie with a black cast. Yeah. But you know what? It wasn't just that because like and I guess I'm not spoiling. It's really not spoiling. The vampires introduced into the whole picture were white. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's a whole even their music was like a battle of music. Even you know what I mean? They were playing like that old Scottish. Was it Scottish? Yeah. Or no, maybe Irish. I don't know. I'm terrible.
It was Irish. It was Irish.
Yeah, man. It was commentary on race relations, big time.
Mm-hmm.
The upward movement of black ambition, at least back then.
Yeah.
And the stifling of it by demons. In this case, they were white people. Like it was so good, man. It was such a good movie, and I will 100% be watching that again. And Jody's like terrified of like horror movies, but she loved it as well. Yeah, she really enjoyed it.
I saw it in the theaters because it was getting really, really high reviews, like the highest reviews of the year almost. And so I really enjoyed it. And then Jess watched it, and I watched it again with her. And I think the thing that there were some themes in it, and these are the kind of those Academy Award moments, is like one of the interesting things about the vampires, and this is spoiler, so if you don't want to know these things, then don't listen. But like,
give us a time frame, like a minute or so.
Let's give it 5 minutes so that we can talk about it a little. Okay. But yeah, like so. The thing that was really interesting and different about these vampires is when you became a vampire, you were instantly like a hive mind. You knew all the things that all the other vampires knew. You had the skills. You could play the music. You could sing the songs. You felt the way. And they proposed it, like the way they were selling it to the non-vampires is, this is love. This is everybody. We appreciate you. And it was very much an interesting version because to like white culture, that's kind of like what we think of as assimilation. It's like, become part of it. We accept you. We appreciate your differences. We also want those differences, right? We're going to take those things that makes your group special, but it's going to belong to everybody now. And it's like, there's this undercurrent of assimilation and freedom and things like that. And those parts were really interesting because it sounds like, from the position of power's perspective, it sounds so good. Like, we're going to appreciate you. We're going to love you. We're going to be able to help you win over these other people. But the cost of it is the eradication of the uniqueness of your culture because it gets absorbed by everything else. And there's a really interesting argument to be made there. I feel like that's where I wanted to see more in this movie. I wanted to see more of that fleshed out, but the ideas were there, and that was fun.
I loved it, dude. Instant favorite of mine, and I'm going to be rewatching it. So, as I said before, it's called Sinners. It's with Michael B. Jordan.
And Michael B. Jordan.
And Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, he plays a twin, which there's some predictability in that too. I called it like before we even started the movie. Yeah. But yeah, excellent movie. Watch it. It's on the apps.
I think.
It's on the apps right now. Yeah, I think it's on HBO.
So watch Sinners. It's on a bunch of platforms, I believe, but definitely HBO. It's the most Academy Award nominated film of all time.
I was super excited to tell you about it because I know you're a horror movie buff, and you really rained on my parade. You're like, I saw it. I hadn't just seen it twice. I saw it in the theater. or the cinema, as the Europeans say. All right, Skip. Well, before we bring in our joys, I wanted to quickly ask you because we'd mentioned it several episodes ago, and we just haven't had time to bring it in. I want to know about your tattoos because I have zero recollection of you having any tattoos, and apparently you've got like a bajillion of them. So, what are they? Where are they? When did you get them?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a bajillion, but I've quite a few. Most of them are just not visible. Like
Okay.
if I'm wearing clothes. So yeah, interestingly, like Jess just got home from getting yet another bird tattoo. She's got bird tattoos, and because her tattoo artist is moving back to Poland, so she's like, I gotta go get this bird.
Or she'll have to go to Poland. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I have lots of tattoos, I guess you'd say. So my first tattoo I got on my foot, and it's just the distance of a marathon. It's 26.2. So I got that after I ran a marathon.
Familiar. I don't know if you mentioned it recently, but I do remember that now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And then during my walk across America, I got some wings on my ankles as Mercury or Hermes, the god of travel and border crossings and lots of other things.
Okay.
But those were the most relevant.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that.
And then I've got a bunch of other ones. I have a world map on my thigh. I've got a little pedestrian guy around on my waist. I've got
what do you mean? What do you mean a pedestrian guy?
Like the pedestrian sign, like the walking figure that you see on those yellow signs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got one of those. I got a heart with a Band-Aid on it on my shoulder, on my sleeve. I've got the check line over my heart. I have the Little Prince and a samsara wheel on my back for my two favorite books, which is The Little Prince and Herman Hesse's Siddhartha.
Okay.
So he's like riding birds away from it. And let's see, what else do I got? Yeah, I've got a huge side tattoo. That's right. I've got my whole, like, from my armpit down to my waist is all one big Mucha painting. And
Mucha. I don't know.
Mucha is
yes. Alphonse Mucha.
Yeah, Alphonse Mucha. So it's a big tattoo of the lady who's kind of wrapped in the European. It's not like a European flag at that time, but it's like she's got the moon behind her, and she's wrapped in the blue with the circular stars. Yeah, that one was quite a thing. That was a lot of sittings.
When did you get that one?
I got that one 10, 12 years ago. It was whenever Jess and I started. It was right after we started dating. And I just immediately, I saw it and I was like, this is my wife. Like, this is you. I know I want to get married to you. Like, this is the tattoo that represents you. And it's a big, beautiful tattoo.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I knew about that one at all. I didn't. Some of these are new to me, or I just had forgotten them. But yeah, you don't really like flaunt your tattoos. That's like
no.
Mine are visible. Like most of them. No, not most of them. A couple of my arms are visible, but that's it.
What do you have? I don't remember.
So the first couple I got when I was 19. I've got an MC Escher tessellation on the forearm of my right arm, and then I've got a Mesoamerican motif, like a circular one on my left shoulder, and then it means fire dragon. But I like tweaked it to my. It's getting a little blurry. I probably should do something with it differently. And then I've got a V on under my right arm, and then like on my side. That was really painful, by the way.
Some of those spots get pretty bad.
And then I've got on my chest the Frida Kahlo's last entry into her diary that says, I hope the exit is joyful and I hope I never come back. And I have it in reverse and it's in Spanish so I can read it in the mirror.
Cool.
And I've got a remote viewing sort of like pictogram on my left forearm. And then I've got a Canadian maple leaf, a small Canadian maple leaf just above that on my left forearm as well. So those are my tattoos. I think, I don't have anything else. I was like, kind of like you, I've just got little things everywhere, but without, like the big one on your side, that's like a big project, but I don't have anything large like that.
Are there any that you're itching to get? Any tattoos in your future?
Well, no, the Canadian one and the remote viewing one, I got those about 2 years ago. Yeah, I got them about 2 years ago. So they're kind of, I really hadn't planned on even getting tattoos until I like, all of them have meaning in some way, like strong meaning for me. So like yours. So no, I don't have any itch. I don't have any plans. But like when something moves me, I immortalize it on my skin. So at some point I've got nothing on my back. I have nothing on my legs. So who knows? At some point I'll get something. That's that.
Hold on real quick. I got a real quick question for you.
Okay.
And this isn't a ploy to like get you something. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Oh, dude. So funny enough that you asked, I just ate with great shame an entire pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream last night. And it was like 2 for $11. So otherwise it would have been like $7 for the pint. So I had to get 2. So I've got another one in the freezer. But no, anything with chocolate, anything that's primary chocolate, swirl in some caramel, maybe some fudge pieces, which is exactly what I got last night. I don't have, I like Rocky Road a lot too, but I don't have a particular favorite ice cream. What about you?
You a fish food man based on that? Are you a fish food man from Ben & Jerry's?
I don't think I've ever had it. I don't think I've ever had it before.
Oh my dear. Well, go out, run. I'll reimburse you for this. Go out and get some Ben & Jerry's fish food because it's chocolate ice cream with little fudge fish, swirls of caramel, and some marshmallow cream. It is phenomenal. Yeah. Go out and get some of that.
That sounds really good. Yeah. That'll be my next regret. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So favorite ice cream. I have a hard time picking, man. It's really difficult. I love caramel. Caramel's my favorite, but vanilla's up there. Chocolate's not really my jam, even though the fish food it's primarily a bomb. It's great. And like, or like even a chocolate ice cream with the peanut butter cups in it, like divine.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree.
But I gravitate towards like salty caramel and vanilla. Yeah. Something like a cookie dough is good. Like, I don't know, man. I have a real hard time. It's all very mood dependent, you know? Like it'll go years between mint chocolate chips. But man, when it strikes, that's refreshing and delicious.
I agree. And I feel that way like about strawberry, just plain strawberry ice cream, if you can believe it. Like, man, I don't eat that. But every now and then I'm like, this is the best thing I've ever had in my life. Like I just want strawberry ice cream and I'll go for it.
No, that's just for perverts.
It's just that. Well, I've never claimed to not be a pervert.
No, my older boy, strawberry's always been his favorite, and I always make strawberry desserts for his birthday and stuff. But yeah.
I feel like you've told me that actually. It sounds familiar. So me and your son were both perverts apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I know. Carlos, what's your joy this week?
My joy this week, I'm gonna circle this back to Black Excellence because I was looking for something to watch the other night. And there was, I guess for Black History Month, there was a tab on, so there's a service in Canada called Crave, and that is a conglomerate of different, like HBO and Showtime, all that stuff. And there was a tab that said Black Excellence. And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. I saw Sinners on there. I was specifically looking for Sinners. And when I saw that, I clicked on it. And it took me to this like mirror world of Crave that was just... It was like a reversal of dynamics where the majority of the shows and the movies were like black cast and black made. And I didn't realize that I was still on it. I'm like, well, this is like interesting. This is like so African American. And I'm like, oh, I'm still in the world. I didn't realize it was like a whole other like part, but it was really neat to see. I was like, wow, this is cool. Like this is a reversal of like 90% white stuff. And because there's like sprinkled in like white shows here and there, but there was like mostly black stuff. So I thought it was really, really neat to see and a joy. So that's probably been my, that and the Bad Bunny thing. I really enjoyed watching the, I didn't watch the Super Bowl, but Jody sent me a link to I was working, but she sent me a link to the halftime show and it was really cool to see. It was really joyous. And I was happy to see it was a hard pushback against everything going on right now. And I was really happy to see how well it was received by so many people, and it was just joy. Like, how could you not enjoy that? Yeah, they were speaking, and the whole thing was in Spanish, but it was so much fun, and it was so happy, and everyone was having a good time. Like, how could you not enjoy that? For God's sake, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those two things, I really enjoyed them. What about you?
Yeah, send me that link because I'd like to include it on the show notes for people.
The halftime show.
The halftime show. Yeah, I don't watch the Super Bowl because I don't care about football. But, which I know everybody, all the men in the audience just turned it off the show. But I don't watch it. But I've I've been looking forward to watching that. So if you give me the link, not only can I watch it, but other people can watch it.
Yeah,
I've read
I'll do
about it and I've seen still pictures of it, news articles about it, but I haven't actually gotten a chance to watch it. So I'm looking forward to that. No, my joy is weirdly based on the follow-up to me not watching sports is the Olympics. I really love watching the Olympics. They're on right now, a little bit to the chagrin of my youngest son, who is like, we're watching the Olympics again. But we try and find things that he enjoys. Like he seems to like hockey games and he
Okay.
likes curling because those are both fun and easy to understand. But if we try and watch two things in one night, he's like, are you kidding me? I think we should so much screen time, to which the rest of the family is like, what? That's funny coming out of you. But yeah, it's been a real joy. I've really enjoyed watching all the events that I get to. Short track. I don't know if you ever watch like short track speed skating. That is bananas. Oh my God. It's so crazy. You should just try and find on CBC Gem CBC, the website.
Yeah,
And other people can get on there if they have a VPN and they set it to Canada. You can watch replays of the short track, and it's just people going around this really tight track in as fast as they can while also jostling for position.
Right.
And like they don't have their own lanes, and people fall down constantly and just go sliding across the ice. It is bananas to watch. It is so fun to watch. So yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry to just cut you
for
off again. You reminded me. I've seen pictures of it. I know I've seen video of it as well, because I remember when I was drawing the Flash. I was just drawing like a sketch of the Flash. I was using those guys as a model for the Flash because they look like the Flash running. That's how fast they're going. They're hunched over and they're like, and they're muscular and they're wearing like the the leotard or whatever whatever it is.
Unitard, I think. Yeah.
Unitard. Yeah. But they
Bodysuit.
reminded me of the Flash. So yeah, I was using them as models.
Yeah, so get your eyes on some of those because they're real fun. And then we had the 20th year of me being in the Czech, or at least 20 years from my arrival in the Czech Republic yesterday.
Okay.
So that was just kind of generally like a holy shit, I've been here for 20 years kind of moment. And I got to see some people that I really care about. And it was nice to just hang out and talk with them and eat a bunch of stuff. And next week, my last joy, which is actually a future joy, but something that I'm enjoying, just anticipating, we're going to Turkey next week. And I've never been.
Oh
so
man.
I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm steaming with jealousy right now, or
Good.
envy, I should say. Envy, I should say. Yeah, man. Turkey's been on my list for quite a long time.
Me too. And I could just never quite, for whatever reason, I never quite got there. But where the kids are going off to ski camp because their school does that every year, so we're like, hasta la pasta, kids. We're going Turkey.
Where are you guys going? Istanbul?
Yeah, Istanbul. Yeah.
Cool.
Not Constantinople.
You should no. That's some time ago. You should go to Göbekli Tepe. I was just watching a video on the site just this morning, actually. Although I don't know if it's open to the public.
What? Yeah, tell me more about this. What is this?
Oh, I thought you'd know about it. So, I think like 30 years ago, there was an archaeological discovery, and it's just only recently been really played up. It's like the oldest temple in the history of humanity, and it dates back about 6,000 years further than Sumerian culture, and it's I think it's about 11,000 years, maybe 10,000 years ago, and it's like a complex thing, and nobody knows exactly why it was there. They kind of postulate that it was like hunter gatherers, as that to me that sounds absurd, but like hunter gatherers that created like this stone temple. And there's like 3 of them in the area. I forget the name of the other one, but it's a tepe also. But yeah, dude, it's really, really interesting. It is the oldest structure and a very complex structure of ancient humans. And I think the DNA found there like doesn't match any other group. Like the people that built that died out. I mean, they were humans, but they weren't like their genetics don't carry on into modern day populations.
Their lineage stopped.
Yeah. So yeah, Google it, or I'll send you a link or something. It's I don't think it's close to Istanbul. It's further away, but it's fascinating though. It's really, really interesting.
Well, yeah, if I had known about that a little while ago, I might have planned for an excursion, or maybe we can still manage it. I don't know how far it is, but yeah, my wife's dad is in archaeologist.
Oh, so he'll know all about it.
He's an anthropologist.
Well, either way, he'll know all about it for sure.
Well, yeah, no, he'll know, he'd like, shake his fist at us in rage if we didn't get pictures of it when we were nearby. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can make it. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I'll send you what I can find out, because it's not spelled the way you might think it is, but it's an interesting thing all nonetheless. And there's like motifs carved into the stones that are like bizarrely elsewhere in the world too. So it's just so fascinating.
I love a good motif. Yeah, send it my way.
Oh, all right, will.
All right. That's it. Thank you so much for joining us. New podcasts every Wednesday. And if any part of this show has resonated with you, let us know at outsidethemanosphere@gmail.com. You can also reach us on Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube. Please like, rate, subscribe to the podcast YouTube channel, or recommend us to a friend. We hope you'll come back. Have a good one.
Bye-bye now.